It's Thursday, January 22nd, 2026. And if you're anywhere in the United States right now, this is not just another weather update. This is a moment where preparation matters, timing matters, and ignoring what's coming could cost you comfort, safety, and in some areas, power for days. What is unfolding over the next several days has the potential to slow the country down, region by region, mile by mile. Stay with me, because this forecast is about impact, not just temperatures. Let's start in the heart of the country, the Central Plains and the Midwest, where this system first takes shape. Kansas is already locked into winter mode. Wichita is looking at daytime highs near -6 degrees Celsius, dropping to around -12 degrees Celsius overnight. Snow chances are above 90%, with widespread heavy snowfall expected through the next 2 days. 8 to 10 inches of snow is likely, accompanied by strong winds that could create near whiteout conditions at times. A snowstorm alert is in effect, and travel could become dangerous very quickly. Moving south into Oklahoma, Oklahoma City is facing a complicated setup. High temperatures hover near -4 degrees Celsius, with lows falling close to -10 degrees Celsius. Snow probability sits around 80%, but the real concern here is mixed precipitation. Freezing rain and sleet chances climb to nearly 60%, meaning roads may glaze over with ice before snow fully takes over. The next 72 hours will be extremely sensitive, especially for commuters and emergency services. Now to Texas, where this forecast turns from concerning to potentially disruptive. Dallas begins with cold rain, but don't be fooled. With daytime temperatures around 3 degrees Celsius and nighttime values slipping below zero to about -2 degrees Celsius, that rain is expected to transition into freezing rain. The probability of freezing rain climbs towards 70%. Snow chances remain lower, around 30%, but ice is the real enemy here. North Texas and Northeast Texas could see 12 hours or more of continuous freezing rain. That duration alone is enough to bring down trees, snap power lines, and trigger widespread outages. Heading east, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi are emerging as some of the most dangerous zones in this entire event. Little Rock is expected to see highs near -1 degree Celsius and lows around -7 degrees Celsius. Snow probabilities remain modest, near 40%, but freezing rain chances surge past 80%. This combination of sleet, snow, and prolonged ice accumulation could turn neighborhoods into skating rinks and leave roads impassable. Northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, western Tennessee, and parts of northern Mississippi are at extreme risk. Forecast models indicate ice accumulation ranging from 3/4 of an inch to nearly 1 full inch in some areas. That may sound small, but half an inch of ice is enough to shut down a city. In these zones, power outages could last several days, possibly longer than a week in isolated areas. Ice storm warnings are not being issued lightly here. Shifting north again into Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, the story becomes heavy snow with sharp cutoff lines. St. Louis is expecting highs near -3 degrees Celsius and lows near -9 degrees Celsius, with snow chances around 70%. Kansas City remains in a prime snow zone, with temperatures between -5 and -11 degrees Celsius and snowfall potential reaching 8 inches or more. The Ohio River Valley stands out as a major snow corridor. Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton are all tracking daytime highs near -4 degrees Celsius and nighttime lows close to -10 degrees Celsius. Snow probabilities exceed 90%, with totals pushing 10 to 12 inches in some communities. This region may experience continuous snow for several days, making travel extremely difficult through the weekend. Tennessee and Kentucky sit on one of the sharpest transition lines in the entire country. Nashville could see a high near 0 degrees Celsius, but conditions change dramatically just a few miles north or south. Southern sections may receive only 1 to 2 inches of snow, while northern suburbs push toward 4 or 5 inches. Bowling Green, Kentucky is positioned for a heavy burst of snow Saturday evening, with snow probabilities near 90%. Now we turn to the southeast, where the second major threat emerges: ice. Northeast Georgia, northwest South Carolina, and nearly all of North Carolina are vulnerable due to cold air damming. Around Atlanta, daytime highs sit near 2 degrees Celsius, falling to about -3 degrees Celsius overnight. Snow chances stay near 30%, but freezing rain probabilities surge between 70 and 80%. Half an inch or more of ice is possible in a short time, especially in elevated terrain, increasing the risk of falling trees and extended power failures. Virginia and the central Appalachian region face a similar setup. Richmond is forecast to see highs near 0 degrees Celsius and lows near -6 degrees Celsius. Snow chances hover around 60%, but the mix of ice and rain complicates everything. The outlook remains hazardous for at least the next 3 days. Finally, the Northeast, where history could be made. Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston are all in play.
Washington, D.C. expects highs near -1°C and lows near -7°C. If the cold side wins out, snowfall probabilities exceed 80%, with totals potentially reaching 10 to 15 inches. New York City faces highs near 0°C and lows around -5°C. Snow chances sit near 70%, but coastal influence may introduce mixing. Meanwhile, interior Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine are almost locked into heavy snow. Snow probabilities exceed 90%, with some locations capable of seeing 15 to 20 inches of accumulation. The timing matters. This storm begins to exit late Monday night, with calmer conditions arriving Tuesday. But what remains afterward will be bitter cold, deep snow, and widespread cleanup. For many, it will mean shoveling, downed power lines, and recovery efforts that stretch days beyond the last snowflake. If you are in any area highlighted for heavy snow or ice, preparation is no longer optional. Charge devices, stock essentials, prepare generators, and avoid unnecessary travel. This is not hype. It's a high-impact winter event with real consequences. Stay alert, stay ready, and respect what's coming, because this system is moving fast and it is not forgiving. And as the system continues to evolve, the story does not end with the first wave of snow and ice. In many ways, what happens after the storm may be just as impactful as what happens during it, because once the precipitation winds down, the cold tightens its grip. And that's when secondary hazards begin to surface across large portions of the United States. As we move deeper into Sunday night and into Monday, Arctic air pours south behind the storm. Wind chills become a serious concern, especially across the plains, Midwest, and Ohio Valley. In parts of Kansas, Missouri, and Iowa, actual air temperatures will fall well below -15°C, with wind chills plunging closer to -25°C. At those levels, exposed skin can develop frostbite in under 30 minutes. This is not the type of cold you can casually brush off. It demands layered clothing, limited outdoor exposure, and careful planning if you must travel. In areas that experience heavy ice, the danger quietly shifts from falling precipitation to structural stress. Ice-laden trees continue to crack and fall even hours after the rain ends. Power lines under extreme weight may fail later rather than sooner, meaning outages can actually increase after the storm appears to be over. This delayed impact is especially likely across northern Louisiana, western Mississippi, western Tennessee, northern Alabama, and parts of the Carolinas. Crews may struggle to access damaged areas due to blocked roads and ongoing freezing conditions. Road conditions nationwide will remain deceptive. Even where snowplows are active, refreezing becomes a major issue overnight. Meltwater during the day will turn back into black ice after sunset. Bridges and overpasses first, often without visible warning. This is one of the most dangerous phases of a winter storm, when people assume the worst has passed and let their guard down. It has not. Air travel will also feel the ripple effects. Major hubs including Dallas-Fort Worth, Chicago, St. Louis, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Washington, D.C., New York City, and Boston could see delays and cancellations extending well into Monday. Aircraft de-icing operations slow departures, while icy runways limit arrivals. Even if skies appear clear, cold-soaked equipment and residual ice can ground flights for hours. Travelers should plan for long delays and consider postponing non-essential trips. Now let's talk about the Northeast again, because confidence in this part of the forecast continues to increase. Interior sections of Pennsylvania, New York, and New England are lining up for prolonged snowfall. This won't be a quick burst. Snow could fall steadily for 12 to 18 hours in some locations. Rates may exceed 1 to 2 inches per hour at times, especially Sunday night. That kind of intensity overwhelms plowing operations and rapidly buries secondary roads. Rural communities may find themselves temporarily isolated. Urban corridors face their own challenges. In cities like Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston, the margin between rain and snow remains razor thin. A small shift in temperature of just 1 degree can change outcomes dramatically. If colder air wins, heavy wet snow becomes a serious concern. Snow that clings to trees and power lines, increasing outage risks even in metro areas. If warmer air intrudes, slushy accumulations followed by a flash freeze could turn streets into ice sheets. Either way, disruption is likely. Further south in the southeast, recovery may be slowest of all. Many communities in this region lack the infrastructure and equipment needed to handle prolonged ice storms. Snowplows are scarce, road treatment supplies are limited, and utility repair crews may need to travel long distances. In past events, this has resulted in power outages lasting multiple days. That possibility is very real again, particularly in North Carolina, northern Georgia, and parts of South Carolina. This is where preparation shifts from convenience to necessity. If you rely on electricity for heating, ensure you have backup options. If you use medical devices that require power, make contingency plans now. Keep vehicles fueled, not just for travel, but in case you need warmth. Have food that does not require cooking. These steps are not overreactions. They are lessons learned from past storms that looked very similar to this one. As we head toward Monday night and Tuesday, precipitation finally pulls away from the East Coast. Skies clear, but cold air remains entrenched. Fresh snow cover enhances nighttime cooling, allowing temperatures to plunge even further. In many northern states, Tuesday morning may be the coldest point of the entire event. Pipes become vulnerable, especially in older homes or poorly insulated structures. Dripping faucets and opening cabinet doors may prevent costly damage. Looking beyond this storm, the broader pattern suggests winter is far from finished. The jet stream remains active, and cold air reservoirs across Canada show no sign of retreating. While no single storm lasts forever, the environment remains favorable for additional systems to develop. This means recovery time may be short before the next round of winter weather arrives somewhere else. So as this chapter unfolds, remember this. Winter storms are not just about snow totals.